topic this week are the Post-Impressionists. So in order for us to better understand who they were and the work that they produced, I've come here to the Kröller-Müller Museum in the Netherlands, where they have an exceptional collection of Post-Impressionist artworks with paintings by Van Gogh, Gauguin, Seurat and Signac.
Post-Impressionism was not a movement but a concept that was developed after most of the artists were actually dead. The term Post-Impressionism was coined after the historical fact by the English art critic Roger Fry in 1910 on the occasion of an exhibition at the Grafton Galleries in London entitled Manet and the Post-Impressionists. Fry focused on three principal artists, Paul Gauguin, Vincent van Gogh and Paul Cézanne, who the critic understood as those who followed Manet. Though he had initially excluded Georges Seurat from the list of leading post-impressionists, Fry later added him to the list, and today art history includes him as one of the main post-impressionist artists. All of the paintings in this presentation hang inside the Kröller-Müller, and they would all typically be described as post-impressionist. Looking at them, we can say that though they're generally less serene and more charged with emotion and feeling than impressionist work, there is no single, well-defined style. In part, that's because each artist developed a personal style. If we had to pin down some characteristics, then they might include the exaggerated use of vivid colour, thick application of paint, use of parallel and expressive brushstrokes, noticeable application of pigment and use of colour contrasts for defining surfaces and forms, contemporary subject matter, accentuation of geometric forms like spheres, cones, cubes and cylinders, and realistic subject matter depicted in an unrealistic but recognisable form. Take the work by the self-taught French painter and graphic artist Paul Signac, who actually wanted to become a writer but decided to take up painting after seeing Claude Monet's first Impressionist paintings. In 1884, an encounter with Georges Seurat changed his life and changed art. Together, they did research into colour and the effects of colour contrasts, and they developed a new style of painting that later became known as pointillism. The technique consisted of mixing colours with white only and applying these directly in very small dots onto the canvas. The colours only merged together in the eye of the observer when seen from a distance. Signac was the theorist of this movement, which would have a big influence on the work of, for example, Vincent van Gogh, who was also his friend. In The Breakfast, Signac depicts his mother, grandfather and housemaid. He used mainly blue, yellow and orange green as contrasting and complementary colours, and chose to show the figures frontally or in profile, standing or sitting motionless, without showing any expression. This is not a group portrait. This is a painting of a type, a typical timeless bourgeoisie type. In that sense, the painting is also a critical commentary on the self-satisfaction of civic life and the authoritarian capitalism that Signac, who was a confirmed anarchist, and his like-minded friends rejected. The sometimes difficult relationship that post-impressionists like Signac, Gauguin and Van Gogh had with the modern world may explain why these artists turned away from just depicting the observed world and looked instead to their memories and to their emotions in order to connect with the viewer on a deeper level.